You've often said that film is a director's medium, and the directors that you worked with have shaped your craft a great deal. Can you get a little more specific and maybe take 5 directors and tell me, this is what I learned from this person, this is what I learned from this person, or this is, just so we kind of get to how you got formed as today?
Barring two directors, I have worked with almost new directors or second time filmmakers all my life till today. I have conditioned myself, right? If I, of course, I'm going to name certain directors, but today, the way I work, of course, I fall back on my director, but I also rely a lot on my instinct, on my own instinct and my own understanding of what I feel is my character, and not just my character, but just overall the film. So I have a certain perspective of my own, which I share with the director on a very regular basis at odd hours on voice notes. Notes and notes and notes. And of course, all this has come from an amalgamation and understanding of having worked with certain directors.
Yeah.
And of course, I'll always begin my answer with Shoojit Sircar. Shoojit is a man of very few words. He's not someone who would say too many things in one go. So you have to really understand what he wants, and you will understand that once you kind of have that journey with him. Because for Vicky Donor, the amount of workshops we did, or rehearsals or readings, we were really prepped for that film, and that is my first lesson, that your homework and the prep that you do for a film, that is really essential and non-negotiable. And your diction, your voice modulation, your and I remember there was this scene in the restaurant in Vicky Donor where we were on a date, Vicky and I, in a mall, and I must be doing my hair and makeup checks, which is what we do, right, before a scene. And I must be doing it before every take. Probably I didn't realize it. But by the end of it, we used to always sit again, post pack up at night and rehearse what's going to come the next day. Dada was like, you should let go, Yami. You should let go. You should not be so concerned about, okay, how am I looking and how am I this? Okay. And I didn't really get that, because I'm like, but Dada, we are working for the screen ना, अगर ये बाल ठीक नहीं हुए या मेकअप ठीक नहीं हुआ तो फिर I was so concerned कि you telling me I should not look at the mirror? He's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you have to let go. Once you think you're set and you're ready to go, you should just let go. Don't be conscious. My heart broke a little bit, because I thought, oh my God, I'll never be able to look at mirror in front of Dada. At least I have to sneak in somewhere, put mirror somewhere, and I still want to look at myself. But all those things, life come again. They were gems. They were small. It's all those details.
Yeah.
It's never that one big gyan or advice. It's always in those small details and those things. So that with Shoojit Da. Sriram Raghavan is again a man of fewer words, even fewer words. He would sit.
Unless you talk to him about films, then he talks.
Then he talks.
Yeah.
Then he talks. Otherwise, sometimes I wouldn't even know where where Sir is, where he is. I just didn't know. He was in the boot of the car where the first sequence is. I didn't even know. He's just somehow made, almost like coiled himself in that small little space and just lying down there, and would give you some of the most violent ideas in that calm space, that this is how I want the action to be, or this is how I want things to be. And one of those few films again where there wasn't full script, there was a screenplay that was shared of about 27 pages. I said, is this for me? He said, no, this is for everyone, because that is how he works. We work on the dialogues then, and then he sits with the actors. And I remember we sat before the scenes and we worked on the lines, what we feel for the character. So again, that was a very different exercise for me. One film, one director, everything was there on paper, and the other one was we were that school of thought. We were working on the lines, and that was also something very new. And again, someone who likes things very natural, likes things just flowing. I I remember in that cafeteria scene, I don't know if you remember, me and Varun, we are talking, and I've shared this before, but I can never get over this. I had lines from Shakespeare that my character is signs off. That's how the scene ends. And we did the scene, and uh, we did the rehearsal, and Varun was like, I'll just come back. And he's out. And we can see him through the glass door that he's on a phone call. Now the shot's ready. And Anil sir, our DOP, Anil Mehta, brilliant, brilliant too. We would hear Anil sir more than Sriram sir's voice, and be like, hi, Varun, bulao, shots ready. And we assuming there must be something really a personal emergency. Otherwise, of course, the shots ready and everything. And he's there, he's telling everyone, I'm just coming. Finally, Varun comes. We start the scene. The scene's done. I say my lines, and it's supposed to be a cut, but they cannot be a cut because Varun just prompted and come up with some shero shairi, some lines that he was taking from a writer. And I'm sure Sriram, I think he fell from the chair, but he didn't say anything. He didn't show. He just asked him that. I'm not even sure he asked him anything. He just let it be. He didn't say cut. He just let him do what he wanted to do, and of course the edit was cut. But the fact that there was no such, it was okay.
Yeah, it's almost like theatre in a way.
Yeah, he's like, that's okay, that's fine. So so I thought that was very, very interesting. Ramu sir, Ram Gopal Varma. I know that's a film which didn't work at the box office. I'm talking about Sarkar 3, and that's okay. That's fine. But that's still Ramu sir. And so many directors, most of the directors I've worked with, or even if I've not worked with, but your senior DOPs and technicians today, they've all worked with him at some point of life and learned. A part of him is always there in their work. And so when I got that opportunity, I was told by, of course, a lot of people that I just finished shooting for Kabul. That, are you sure you want to do this? Because you must wait for Kabul. You know how it goes. You must wait for Kabul to release, and you're going to be flooded with offers. And I said, there's certain things in life which you just want to do. And I really want to work with Ramu sir. There was no script. Again, there was more of narration. And I said, sir, I want to read the script. And he said, trust me, that's the way I work. But I assure you that you won't regret this. It's fine. This is the character and this is the world. And you've seen Sarkar and Sarkar too. And this is. So I said, that's okay. I'll go with the flow. Again, someone extremely patient. There's a situation that came that happened with a co-actor of mine. No, of course, no names taken here. But that character was supposed to be drunk in the scene, and I don't think Ramu sir was aware or made aware of it. And that actor was doing everything in his best, to make it authentic, to make it work. And different actors have different their own styles and approach, and must have had a little bit of alcohol. Right, but you don't, obviously, you wouldn't have realized that it was taking longer, to get the right part, and it was a very small scene. And I think, getting somewhere a little impatient because I was not understanding that what was happening. And I'm sure Ramu sir would have seen my expression, and everyone kind of figured out, right? And that person was trying to do his best, and the intention was that.
Yeah.
And he called me and he said, Yami, now I think this is the situation. The person has consumed, little alcohol just to get the scene right. Don't you worry. Just give me one more take, and I will use this expression and dub it with a straight voice. That voice and this expression, correct, perfect scene.
You are a very good mimic. That sounded so much like Ramu.
It did.
Right.
It did.
Yeah.
So just one more take, and okay. Don't kill him. Don't throw him from the balcony. Yeah. So, so I said, and I'm like, and I was just amazed. Of course, the actor later, he was feeling very sorry. He was very sweet,
Yeah.
very, very sweet guy. And but that was not the point. The point was, as a director, there was no chaos. Anyone else whom I worked with certain directors, they would just maybe throw things, or next day there would be some cheap tabloid about certain actors, and they could make something really ridiculous and something really frivolous
Yeah.
out of this as a news,
Yeah.
right? As a gossip column news, because that was happening a lot at that time, and didn't. He said no, that's okay. So a solution oriented mind, and I thought that was, of course, beyond all the things, apart from all the things that we know of Ramu sir. So I thought that was, I was really amazed. Not an iota of anger or "Arey yaar," nothing.
Yeah.
Just one more take and we have it. And I said, so that. Amar Kaushik, again, he's someone with whom the heartland stories, I think, come very naturally. He's, if Bala, I think, I will always thank him for giving me a role which was absolute, a reverse casting is what we call, and giving me a part where I'm sure, and because a lot of people said that verbatim and could tell that, no, how can she do comedy? Oh, it's not possible. She's so serious. Again, image, perception. She's so serious. She's so this. Like, no, but we just read it. He just asked me to read a scene. It was not really an audition, but he asked me to read some lines, and I read it. I just, I said in a certain way. I improvised a little bit, and he really liked it. And he said, with Amar, it's like one of those directors again who will make you reach the correct sur of your character, or which how much ever is required, and that's it. I think he gets the pulse of the audience really well, so you can fall back on him when it comes to performance, when it comes to that balance between okay, because something as Pari or something can go an absolute different direction if not done correct. So you have to, it's neither, it is filmy, but yet at the same time it has to be realistic.
Yeah.
So, and I think he gets that really well.
Yeah.
And I don't know how easy it would have been for me to trust with anybody else with that kind of perspective or performance to execute. So definitely I think Amar for that. And Aditya Dhar.
I've heard the name somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know why people keep talking about him. I think a lot. The Dhurandhar of my life. Aditya, again, as a director, someone who really believes in prep, someone who really believes in as much he can give to the writing part. Of course, you're welcome to improvise, but his script is nearly perfect. Is always. I've read. I've worked on Uri. I've worked on Dhoom Dham. I worked on 370. Read Dhurandhar and his other work. The script is really sacred for him. There is no shortcut there. There's no like, oh, I have to get it approved by the studio. I have to get it approved by someone. Let me just give this and pir, karte hain, or let me. He'll never approach anyone with just something half baked. He'll give it his all out. He'll have a Bible ready. He'll have everything ready that you would want to see the world that he'll present to you. So that detailed his script work is.